Notre Dame leading 27-23 at the half over Northwestern, so both teams have combined for 50 points. The last time we were here, Doug Flutie, at Notre Dame Stadium, they combined for some 93 points. North Carolina and Notre Dame, the largest combined point total in the 84-year history of the stadium. We headed for another one of those.
It must be the new turf. It's a track meet. They're moving the ball up and down the field offensively, but Notre Dame's defense cannot stop a Northwestern offense that scored 16 points in their last 10 quarters.
And the Wildcats could be easily on top had it not been for some drops and some miscues, because Trevor Siemian, the quarterback, had some touchdowns in his sight, but guys just couldn't hold on to the football.
He's throwing the ball exceptionally well. They already have 3 plays of over 30 yards, which matches what they had done all season, and they've had opportunities for 5 others. Jones down the middle of the field. Jones in the back of the end zone. I believe this is Carr. Jones again dropping. Look, the point is they're open downfield. These are other big plays that are over 30-yard chunks that they haven't been doing all year. And in the Notre Dame secondary, some young safeties making mistakes in the secondary and getting beaten covered.
Well, despite all those potential touchdowns, Wildcats down by just 4 at the break.
He's going to take it to the house.
Elvedi for the touchdown. What a play by Van Hoos. Beautiful spin move in for the score. Oh, we haven't had any lack of drama in this one. Well, 19 years ago, Northwestern came into Notre Dame Stadium as 28-point underdogs and pulled off the upset. 17-point dogs here, trailing by 4 at the break. As you take a look at the first half statistics, Golson has cleaned up the turnovers, but did throw an interception, which led to a Northwestern touchdown. As Northwestern is within reach, let's send it down to Catherine.
All right, Dan, thank you very much. I spoke to head coach Brian Kelly there just in the break, and he said that the drop balls and the missed opportunities, he thought they didn't cost them too much because they were able to make up for them on the back end. He said he did think that the missed field goal and the drop snap on the extra point did affect them. He said defensively, still no Max Redfield. He plans on going with Austin Collinsworth and Drew Tranquil here in the second half, guys.
Thank you, Catherine. Again, Max Redfield was the big change on defense. Had started all 9 games before Drew Tranquil got the start. And Austin Collinsworth did have an interception, or actually returning it for a touchdown fumble. So a lot happened in that first half. Brinza, who has not been sharp, even though there was a muffed hold by Zaire. The kick taken by Trayvon Green out to the 25-yard line, where the Wildcats will begin the second half.
Well, with the 2 kicks, it's 6 points. It's three on the missed field goal, 1 on the missed extra point, and 2 going the other way, so it turns into a 6-point swing.
And again, Siemian, the victim of 5 drop passes, 15 of 25 for 149 yards, 1 touchdown, the 1 interception. But he has looked healthy and has looked mobile on that ankle, which he sprained in the second game of the season. That ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. It was up for grabs, incomplete. Isaac Rochelle getting a hand on it.
Some things you just can't control as a quarterback. Sometimes those defensive linemen get that hand up in the passing lane, bat it up in the air. But this is the type of luck Notre Dame's had lately. That one falls to the ground, where Notre Dame's tip ball winds up an interception.
On 2nd and 10, Simmons pass complete to Dickerson, who had the big play. This one for a first down. Dickerson had a 60-yard reception in the first half, part of 3 big plays for Northwestern that were huge for the Wildcats. That one good for 12.
Cody Riggs is back on the field playing there. He was in coverage there, actually went for a strip again.
And up the middle is Justin Jackson. Jackson with 11 carries for 72 yards, looking for another 100-yard game for the freshman running back. Not real big, Doug, 5'11", 185 pounds, but proved that he can pull off the big play. He had that 44-yard rush earlier in the first half. Ball at the 41. 2nd and 7. Siemian going down the far sideline, and that is a beautiful catch made by Prater. Kyle Kyle Prater with a beauty for 29.
On the outside versus Cole Luke, gets a step on him, but sees the ball and high points it. Goes up strong with his hands and catches the ball, hangs onto it. Actually, Cole Luke got a hand in there and still couldn't knock it loose. In fact, Prater took it in one hand to avoid that.
Wildcats all the way down to the Irish 30, just like that. Simeon to the air again, close to another first down as Justin Jackson out of the backfield. So Northwestern comes out of the locker room and on the move.
Positive plays on first down, balls out of his hand. When they decide to run it, they pick up 3 or 4, still getting rid of the ball quickly. This is everything they've wanted to do today.
That was Jackson's first catch of the game. And on the ground is Simeon. A good fake. They fooled practically the entire Notre Dame defense with a fake up the middle, and Simeon takes it out for 16.
Well, when you run the football, you sell it, pull it out. Nice read on his behalf. Not exactly a lot of shake at the end of the run, but he is a mobile guy that can make plays for you.
And he's got some decent speed. Again, he's been hampered by that ankle sprain. That's his longest run of the year, and on 1st and goal, he lets his running back Justin Jackson have a go out of it. Not much. Rochelle was there among the blue shirts to meet him.
Down in this area, if you run it, my theory is if you're outside the 5-yard line and you run the ball on first down, you're committing to run the ball 3 times in a row and try to get it in. Otherwise, go play action in this situation. Go play action, try to get to the end zone.
On 2nd and goal, looking for a hole is Green. Maybe got a yard. That'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 4. Tranquil among other Irish defenders there to bring him down.
Their favorite runs are power O down there. They pull a lot of guards down by the goal line, which I'm not a big fan of, but they seem to do very well. But now, like I said, if you committed to running the ball early, it's very difficult to run the ball in 3 times from out there. So now you're in a passing situation.
Northwestern trying to make an opening statement here in the opening drive of this second half. 3rd and goal from the 4. Notre Dame defense trying to hold him to at least a field goal attempt. Simeon pumps once and down he goes at the 14. Sheldon Day, whose motor runs all day and night, with a loss of 10, bringing Simeon down, and the field goal unit for Northwestern.
Pat Fitzgerald described him as relentless, and Sheldon keeps coming. He's not immediately in the rush. Secondary does a great job in coverage, forcing Simeon to hold the ball. Sheldon gets there.
So it's going to be a field goal attempt by Jack Mitchell as a player is down.
But backtracking, if you're outside the 5-yard line somewhere around the 8, it's very difficult to run the ball into the end zone. I always love throwing the ball 3 times for the end zone when you're out in that area around the 8-yard line.
Well, we've seen the Notre Dame field goal unit have some problems. This is Jack Mitchell, who was a preferred walk-on for Northwestern when he arrived on campus a couple of years ago, but ended up playing baseball. He's a starting outfielder for the baseball team. He's never been a part of the football team until he came back to the team this season. This is a 31-yarder. He hasn't had one past 30 yards all season, but he gets that one to go. And Northwestern is on the board first in the second half, getting within 1 of Notre Dame, 27-26. Brisk evening at Notre Dame Stadium, and the Wildcats come out with their opening drive of the second half, march right down the field, get a field goal and pull within 1, 27-26. Brian Kelly with a win, trying to become the first Notre Dame coach to begin his career with 5 straight 8+ win seasons, but Northwestern is certainly not going to give it to him tonight. Amir Carlisle comes out across the 20 and the 25, where Golson and company will begin their first series of this second half. Golson 8 of 18, 154 yards through the air, 1 touchdown and the 1 pick. He's also the leading rusher after the first half for the Irish. Folston with 70 yards. Golson picked up 82 yards, the bulk of it on that 66-yard run on the first series for Notre Dame. Actually 61-yard touchdown run on the opening series for Notre Dame to give them the lead 7-0. That seems like a long time ago. Golson wanted to pass on first down. You could see him really cradling the ball and protecting it there as he was forced to keep it. C.J. Robbins wrapped him up.
He let it hang down there for a little bit, but he got into traffic and pulls the ball up. It goes off the play action, doesn't see something, gets pressure right away, steps up. But he had it in one hand hanging around his hip, and as he stepped forward, he pulls it up into the chest and covers up. He's learning.
Northwestern player slow in getting up was Robbins, who made the tackle on Golson. 6'5", 295-pound junior C.J. Robbins being helped off.
I'll tell you what, Robbins 6'5", Lowry 6'6" on that side of the defensive line. If you're a short quarterback, which average right at 6 foot, you look left sometimes, you just see a wall.
You wouldn't know anything.
No, nothing about being short.
So Golson working on 2nd and 9. Fires it incomplete, skipping it toward Chris Brown.
Boy, that one looked like footwork to me or something. That didn't look right on his set and release. It was a wide open route again on the outside, and Everett bounced the ball there for really no reason. Something didn't feel right. He's grabbing his shoulder.
Yeah, he just kind of
something didn't feel right.
Crumples up there after he fired it. Now he's got 3rd and 9. More pressure, steps up, and that's incomplete. Doesn't look like he's 100% with that throwing arm.
Maybe when he stepped up in the pocket and covered up and got tackled, he might have fallen on that shoulder. He stepped up through. It's probably hitting the ground there, maybe, and sometimes, well, you don't want to predict it or guess. If you land on the exactly on the side of your shoulder, sometimes you can get a slight AC separation.
Brinza's punt. This is more Brinza-like. Driving Northwestern back and then reversing his field is Mike McHugh, who's back there for the first time to return the punt for Northwestern. 52-yard punt for Kyle Brinza and a loss of 2 on the return. Malik Zaire is warming up as Everett Golson is being looked at along the Notre Dame bench. Time, Doug, but as you can see there, it is dark tonight. Hopefully
is that an omen?
Hopefully not serving as an omen here for a Northwestern upset of the Irish. There it is, in case you can't quite make it out. And there's another angle of the dome. So here comes Northwestern, trailing by just 1, back with a football from its own 18 to begin this drive. Took the opening drive of the second half right down the field. Simeon over to the left, a little bit of a dangerous pass, but Prater's able to hang on. Cole Luke on the coverage, and a loss of 5 yards. There's Golson, who's trying to get that right arm shoulder area loose. We also saw, as we went to the last break, Malik Zaire warming up. So we'll see when the Irish get the ball back whether it's Golson or Zaire. 2nd and 15. Simeon hanging in the pocket, looking right, now trying to get some room left, and down he goes for another huge loss. Rochelle in there, who's had a tip pass already, very active in this game. A loss of another 4 for Simeon.
If you can force them to hang on to the football, you will get there. Sheldon Day shows first. Rochelle finishes it off. That's forcing the quarterback to hang on the ball. Northwestern does not want to be in the pocket, dropping deep, looking downfield. They want the ball out quickly.
Now faced with a 3rd and 21 at their own 7. Here's Jackson. Picks up a good chunk of it, and the ball gets loose, and there's Drew Tranquil to pick it up at the 21, and Notre Dame has it. Was it Jalen Smith who jarred it loose? Tranquil recovered it, and another look at the run here by Jackson.
We're just gashing him up through the middle. It looks like Jalen Smith coming from the backside gets an arm in there and rips at the ball. He actually didn't even need to rip at it. He slapped it out.
Jalen Smith, who according to the coaches had his best game last week against Arizona State, just as finally, in the words of Brian Van Gorder, for the first time this year, he is getting his position. In other words, they moved him from the outside to the inside this year, and Jalen Smith able to force the turnover. And here is Golson at the Northwestern 21, and the give to Carlisle around the right side for a first down. Amir Carlisle knocked out of bounds finally by Nick Van Hoos. Big gain of 16 for Carlisle.
That's just pure speed and outrunning the defense off a jet sweep. You have motion, you're in motion already. You got to gather and just take off and beat them to the corner. Looking back to the fumble recovery, Drew Tranquil picked it up. It's got to be at least a little encouraging for him and give him a little confidence.
Carlisle with a first and goal now as the Irish work from the 5, and the ball is loose. Golson not able to get it, and Northwestern has it. Another turnover.
Pressure into the backfield. Golson wants to pull the ball. He's got a walk-in touchdown if he can get it out of the stomach of the tailback. Folston, instead, it ends up on the ground. These things can't happen. It's a late decision. He's got his eyes up, reading, balls in the belly of the back. I want it. Pull it out. It's not smooth. Ball's loose. Lowry was the defender diving in there that created the havoc. Ball gets loose.
A lot of confusion there as Folston and Golson kind of were brushing up against each other. Golson had it for a second, but Northwestern takes over. Well, Wednesday night is rivalry night on NBCSN. Rangers host the Flyers in the Garden on Wednesday night rivalry. Then Friday, November 28th, they head to Philly for the 2014 Discover NHL Thanksgiving Showdown on NBC. Well, somebody obviously got the memo and flipped the switch onto the dome, Doug.
No, it wasn't the switch. Someone tripped over the cord and pulled out the plug, and they had to plug it back in.
Now that we've gotten to the bottom of that, let's go down to Catherine.
Yeah, Dan, we talk a lot this season about the evolution of the relationship between Brian Kelly and Everett Golson. We saw Everett come off to the sideline after that fumble, and Brian Kelly just looked at him like almost like a disappointed father. They were both speechless, and Everett just hung his head down, went to the bench. No yelling involved on either side, just patience with this quarterback and what's happening here in this game, guys.
Yeah, seemed to be a little confusion with the exchange, but for the record, the fumble does go on Golson, so 19th turnover of the season. And Northwestern beginning deep in its own territory with Trayvon Green, who maybe gets a yard.
On the fumble, the penetration by Lowry created a quicker decision than Everett wanted to make. And all of a sudden, as he's pulling it out, there's contact on the tailback Folston, and the ball ends up out.
Well, it is a scene we have seen replayed and replayed. Golson going over the sidelines to talk things over with what happened with Kelly. Simeon is forced out of bounds here. And he gets up a little slow. Rochelle with a force out.
Probably the conversation Kelly is having with Golson on the side would be that, look, we're first and goal, that area of the field. Just leave it in the stomach. We'll take the 3-yard loss and let's continue on.
Simeon a little shaken as Rochelle was on him big, that 6'3", 287-pound body. So on 3rd and 12.
Not the comfortable situation for Northwestern.
Play clock down to 2. They just get it off. And it's going to bring up 4th and long. And Notre Dame should be able to get some pretty decent field position here.
Decided to minimize the losses here deep in their own territory. Back against the wall. Let's kick it out of here. They did crease a few run plays on 3rd and long earlier in the game. Took a shot at it.
So punting has also been an issue as of late
Punting,
for Northwestern. This is Chris Gradone. He was pulled from the game last week after a 24-yard punt. Hunter Nicewander took over for him, but this is the first punt of the day, and we'll see what kind of punt it is. Pretty good. He drives Bryant back to the 45. So pretty nice job there done by Gradone, as they kind of have a punter by carousel type of thing going on in Northwestern. 46 yards for Gradone. Maybe he's earned the job back. Now it's time for the unlimited update presented by Sprint. Turnovers continue to be the story for Notre Dame and Everett Golson. Interception earlier in the game, and with Notre Dame on the doorstep of Northwestern, a fumble there. Wildcats have proven they can move the ball on Notre Dame's defense. 367 total yards. Golson had that 61-yard touchdown run, which accounted for most of his career-high 81 rushing yards. He's 8 of 20, 154 through the air. And we've already seen his arm be worked on a little bit on the sidelines. And here he is with good field position now at the Irish 45 to begin this latest drive. And this is Folston, who gets a couple.
Well, right away with the shoulder issue, they go back to running the football a little bit, and they're in that pistol look that Mike Mack was talking about earlier. It's more of a run formation, or a shotgun run formation.
2nd and 7. Here is Folston around the left edge, and he's corralled back, taken by Matthew Harris. On that last series, really the most valuable player, along with Jalen Smith. Sheldon Day, 91. You can see him there, the left knee. He gets caught up in some traffic, and it gets bowed, and Day went off to the sideline limping. And they can ill afford to lose one of the real stars up front. Sheldon Day on the sidelines right now. We'll see if he comes back in the next series. 3rd and 2. Ben Koyak hauls it in for his first catch of the game. Big tight end, who has been on the field with the most snaps of anyone other than Golson this year for the Notre Dame offense. He's been a busy guy, and in fact Kelly wanted to kind of give him some breaks, so Durham Smythe got some action last week at that tight end position. Picks up the first down, and on the ground they go to Cam McDaniel.
On that last completion of Golson's, he turned it loose, put it on the numbers, but was kind of cringing after the fact, kind of shaking his head like it's still not right.
5-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Northwestern trailing by just 1. Fake to McDaniel. Pretty good zip on that pass to Fuller, but incomplete. 3rd and 7. Harris on the coverage. Mike.
Yeah, at some point, Dan, I think we're going to see that talented redshirt freshman you just mentioned, Durham Smythe, the backup tight end. He reminds me of a young Tyler Eifert, and at practice on Thursday, I thought he caught the ball beautifully. He's really a natural athlete.
Yeah, he's fought a hamstring injury earlier in the season. Mike, back issues as well, but he's been getting healthier by the week. Big 6'4", 242-pound sophomore Durham Smythe, who caught his first catch of his collegiate career last week against Arizona State. Play clock getting down there on 3rd and 7. More pressure on Golson, and he's just able to get it away. That was Chichi Araguzzo coming in on Golson, the leading tackler for Northwestern.
Cam McDaniel in the backfield, looks to his right to go pick up someone off the edge to the right side, realizes he didn't come, and loses Araguzzo coming on the strong side. So the guy that is very reliable in the backfield makes his first mistake in pass protection.
On 4th and 7, it appears that the Irish are going to go for it. Golson calls for it just before the play clock expires, has time, fires over the middle, and it's complete to Corey Robinson, who drops it, and Carlisle falls on it. So they get the first down. There was a heart-stopping moment there when Robinson coughed it up.
He stands in there tall. Golson looking down the barrel, fires it over the middle. He had to wait on Robinson to clear the underneath and find an open window. We talked with Golson this week, and he said, you know, I had a couple passes tipped. Maybe as a shorter quarterback like a Drew Brees or a Russell Wilson, I've got to move and wait for passing lanes. There he waited, allowed Robinson to clear and hit him in the middle of the field.
That was a heady play by Amir Carlisle to quickly jump on that and keep the first down and the drive alive. Folston bring up second down as we approach the 4-minute mark of the third quarter. Chance Carter on the stop for Northwestern. Folston getting closer to another 100-yard game. 14 carries, 80 yards.
How about a big-time play on fourth down there, though? Fourth down, edge of the scoring zone, long field goal. Field goal units had issues. Let's go for it. Everett stands in there, and Corey Robinson makes a play, although he put it on the ground at the end.
Right out to Fuller. And Fuller, first down, inside the 10, then shows that speed, sprinting to the end zone for the touchdown. Second touchdown of the game for Fuller. 12 now on the season, good for 23.
Just by sheer numbers, they've got him outnumbered on the outside. The throw goes out. Steve Elmer, 79, with a big block. Fuller up inside of Elmer and sprints to the end zone using his speed.
And Fuller has himself another 100-yard game. 5 catches, 100 yards. Malik Zaire back out there to hold it for Brinza. No problem there. And Notre Dame on that big fourth down conversion, which kept this drive alive, ends in a Will Fuller touchdown. 3:36 left in the third. Notre Dame gets a little more breathing room, up by 8. 34-26 on the latest Will Fuller score. Of State of Affairs Monday, 10-9 Central after The Voice, right here on NBC. Another sellout crowd at Notre Dame Stadium, cheering on the Irish in their first game at home in more than a month. Latest touchdown putting the Irish up front 34-26 with 3:36 left in the third quarter. Notre Dame comes back on defense. They're going to be without a couple of the key players up front as Brinza, all of a sudden, who's got new life, sends that into the end zone. And Northwestern will come out to begin at the 25 as we get more on that Wildcat offense with Mike.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with quarterback Trevor Siemian. A couple series ago, he made the correct decision. He audibled into the sideline. They had numbers, 3 linemen against 3, plus the running back. Look at the vision on the freshman Blankenship. He pulls it wide open. Lack of numbers, good vision. He's made great decisions both in the run and the pass game.
Siemian 19 of 30, 195 yards, touchdown and 1 pick. Let's see what Northwestern can do to respond to that Notre Dame touchdown. Keep it on the ground on 1st and 10. Nice moves by Justin Jackson. Picks up the first down. Cody Riggs, who's back out there on the field. Now check that. Devin Butler, who's been filling in for Cody Riggs with the stop, but after a gain of 15.
Again, a stretch play where they just get it wide. He finds a crease and heads north and south.
And Jackson has himself his 4th 100-yard game of the season. There he is again. Good for a couple.
Well, perhaps they're testing the run defense without Sheldon Day.
There's a couple flags coming in late. And Niles Morgan could be called for something here. We'll get the official call here from Mike Cannon.
After the play's over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 5, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Kelly right in his face. Let's take another look at what happened.
It was a little bit late. It's on the left side of the screen here. A little shove and retaliation into the face.
And is it always that second retaliation that
and Jorgensen decides to sell it and fall to the ground after the fact. Just inexcusable. You have to have discipline on the field. You can't give away free yardage.
They're already without some key defensive players out there as Morgan takes a seat. First down line brought to you by the UPS store. Northwestern quickly into Notre Dame territory thanks to Justin Jackson and the big 15-yard penalty assessed against Morgan. Gain of 4 for Jackson on that carry.
Well, Northwestern is doing what they want. They're running the football for good average per carry here on first down, getting themselves in good situations.
2nd and 6. Gain of 1 or 2. Again, Sheldon Day's knee got buckled. Daniel Cage hasn't seen the field since the first half either. And Cody Riggs as well off the field. So there are 3 key players not in the lineup on Notre Dame's defense, and certainly Day and Cage probably out for the remainder of the game. Max Redfield, who gave up his starting job to Drew Tranquil at the start of this game, is on the defensive secondary for Notre Dame as Simeon tucks it in and slides in short of the first down. That'll bring up 4th and short.
Again, in an area of field here that Notre Dame was just in and went for it on 4th and 7. Now Northwestern, same situation, definitely going to go for it.
And they are right to the line. Van Gorder said, let's go, guys. Northwestern's on the line. Will we see that sneak that you talked about? Simeon brought down by Martini, and he picks up the first down.
He does a great job in short yardage quarterback sneaks. Sees no contain on the outside the left, bounces it out. Greer Martini almost makes the play on him. He's the one now filling in for Morgan now that Morgan took the penalty and was pulled. Little risky, but he almost broke it for a long run.
All right, so on 4th and short, Simeon picks up the first down with a sneak. Back in business with a fresh set of downs. Simeon standing back, pass complete. That one to Green, who tries to get out of the grasp of Farley. As we're down to the 1-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. Northwestern trying to snap a 4-game losing streak against the heavily favored Irish here at home.
This is not the same offense that I've seen on film for the last few weeks.
Second and 4. Green with a carry. Not much.
Again, keeping themselves good down in distance. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. Manageable situations.
Final seconds of the 3rd quarter ticking away. And that will bring us to the end of 3. With Northwestern hanging around, trailing by just 8 against Brian Kelly's Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Notre Dame trying to move their record to 8-2. Northwestern at 3-6, just trying to snap that 4-game losing streak. At the end of 3, Notre Dame 34, Northwestern 26. Will return to the stadium after these messages from your local station.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Okay, hey, we're gonna score. We're gonna kick this one. We're gonna go for 1. All right, let's go finish it right now.
Was the scene just a moment ago on a commercial. Pat Fitzgerald firing up his Wildcats at Northwestern, faced with a 3rd and 2 here at the 25.
Just a lot of confidence in his voice.
Absolutely.
After we score, we're kicking it. Not if, not when. You know, it's a definite attitude of it doesn't matter. We're down 8 right now. We'll kick this one. We're going to score again later. 3rd and 2.
Yeah, he had his mind made up last week against Michigan when they went for the 2-point conversion, which didn't work out, but a huge 3rd down and 2, and this is Alviti in here in the Wildcat. And the snap is wide. He's able to scoop it up, and Notre Dame drops him for a loss. Niles Morgan, who spent some time on the sideline after that unsportsmanlike conduct, was first to get Alviti.
It starts with a bad snap down and to the left. He had to reach for it, and then when he picks his head up, Niles is there shooting the gap, running through. It looked like a true quarterback sweep. It was a run all the way, but he couldn't get to the edge.
That now means it's 4th and 6. And a field goal attempt here by Jack Mitchell. This from 46. Remember, earlier in the game, he made his first field goal from outside 30 yards. And the baseball player, the starting outfielder, knocks it through for Northwestern.
So he drilled the line drive to left center there for a base hit.
That had good velocity on it to the warning track. Good hold. And Mitchell is now 9 of 11 on the year. And Pat Fitzgerald and company get away with 3 points to close within 34-29. Just seconds into this final quarter. We talked about some of the injuries on Notre Dame's defensive unit. For more on that, let's go back down to Catherine.
Dan, it is not likely we will see the return of Sheldon Day. They were evaluating his left leg. They put him in a brace from his hip to his ankle. He is now standing on the sideline with a coat around him and his helmet on. Most likely done for the game. Daniel Cage is done for the game. The defensive lineman left in the first half with a left knee injury. Dan?
All right, so a depleted defensive unit for Brian Kelly and Brian Van Gorder. That's what they'll be dealing with for the rest of this game. Day is a huge loss on that unit, Doug.
He is a force in the D-line. He penetrates, he creates turnovers and sacks and gets into the backfield. So that is a big loss.
Mitchell, who just brought the Wildcats within 5, kicks off to Amir Carlisle, who brings it out. Carlisle streaking up the right side. Pretty good return up close to the 30.
Well, talking about injuries, Everett banged his shoulder up a little bit, was uncomfortable, has not quite thrown the ball the same since. Let's see how well he throws the football or if they turn to the running attack. He did complete that big 4th down throw, though.
Saw the Alabama score 19-13 over top-ranked Mississippi State. Golson with a play action, wheels to his right, and that one never had a chance. Chris Brown in the vicinity.
You know, people were staying home there on the bootleg, didn't have a play, smartly throws it out of bounds, didn't have a quick throw in front of his face either. The only route he had out there was 18 yards downfield.
Golson looking for a hole. Patient, pays off. Stiff arms 1, 2 guys and gets close to the first down. It was a beautiful piece of running by Folston, who picks up 8.
Boy, you know, there was nothing there. He waited, ducks under and threw, gets out backside of it. You're right. It was patience at first. Finally picked a little hole in there and got through.
And guys, that was only his 4th carry of the entire half. You've got a lead here, run some clock, play action. I'd love to see him stay with the run game a little more.
There's the line on Folston with a 1 touchdown earlier in the game. Now a key 3rd and 2. Golson will try to get it through the air and does so to Koyak into Northwestern territory to the 48. Gain of 14 for the big tight end.
Boy, Koyak was totally uncovered on the play, went downfield, realized it, snap hook, give me the ball, right in the chest, great timing, conversion on 3rd down. A key conversion on 3rd down after a Northwestern score, and you don't want to give the ball away right away with an opportunity for them to come down to take the lead.
Second catch of the game for Koyak. Travion Henry is the injured player for Northwestern, so we'll take a timeout here from Notre Dame Stadium. Thank you, Jimmy. That is a day.
408 yards. That's a good day for the entire offense, passing and running.
And that is a Wisconsin team that this Northwestern team beat earlier in the season to quickly go to 2-0 in Big Ten Conference play. But again, 4 straight losses since. There is Travion Henry still being worked on. He was the injured player as we went to break. So Notre Dame with a 1st and 10 at the Northwestern 48. thanks to the Koyak first down pickup. Golson to the air, way downfield. Fuller's open. He's got it. First and goal, Notre Dame.
I was beginning to question whether or not Everett's arm was feeling any good. Could he go upfield with the ball? He answers that right away as Fuller just runs by Van Hoos. Just runs by him. The ball is there. Golson had a chance to step into this throw and turn it loose. Sure, he probably winced after that throw, but he got the ball out there. Big time completion.
And a big time game for Fuller. 6th catch, 142 yards. He's already got a couple of touchdowns. And Notre Dame at the 6. C.J. Procise looking for a hole. Stopped at the 4. Good tackle there by Ibrahim Campbell, who's welcome back to this Northwestern defense after missing 4 straight games with a hamstring. Made an appearance last week against Michigan and had an interception return for some 79 yards.
77. Hegarty, the center, gets pushed 5-6 yards deep in the backfield, which strung it out for Procise and basically killed the play early.
2nd and goal. Folston to the right of Golson. And this is Chris Brown on a little jet sweep, and Brown looking for the goal line, loses the ball. And they spot him out just inside the 1.
This is the 3rd time they've tried these jet sweep type plays down by the goal line and just trying to outflank the defense and get to the corner, get to the edge. Don't be reaching with the ball.
This is one of your pet peeves. Even he didn't do the full reach,
no,
but
didn't.
He was kind of stretching back there.
And at least he wasn't in traffic. He was reaching for the goal line there. But you protect the ball for 99 yards. Protect it for the last yard.
Less than a yard left here on 3rd and goal for the Irish.
The ruling was that the runner was down before he fumbled the ball. The previous play is under further review.
They're going to take another look.
See, there's probably no doubt once we see the replay. But why put it in the hands of an official? You know, you reach out, you slam on the ground, and the ball's coming out. Ooh, he was losing that. Just an example of what I was talking about. Quit reaching with the ball. Protect the ball all the way. This ball is actually slipping out of his hands because he was trying to reach for the goal line. It goes into the end zone. Not only that, it will become a touchback and come out to the 20-yard line for Northwestern. You just protect the ball for the last yard. You know,
yeah, he does not have control of it, and he's not down.
In live action, we assumed he had control of the ball, hit the ground, and slammed on the ground. The ball came out, and it would be down. But young players, they see that goal line, they want to reach, and this happens probably 5 to 10 times a weekend.
And how about another turnover for Notre Dame when they're right down there close, looking like they're going to score? You can see it on the face of Brian Kelly. He has seen this, been replayed and replayed all season.
You got to protect the ball. You're going to break there's so much hard work that goes into moving the football down the field. Of the plays, the conversions on 3rd down, the line busting their tail to move people, and now you're in the last couple of yards. Protect the football. Keep running. We'll just line up on 3rd and short, and we'll get it into the end zone on that. You just got to protect them. Tuck it under and keep running.
So could be a huge reversal here in favor of Pat Fitzgerald and Northwestern. Instead of a potential touchdown there by the Irish, which would have put them up 41-29, it appears that Northwestern is going to get the ball back on a fumble into the end zone on a touchback.
It's out. It's loose. And he knew it rolling over. He started reaching for it. But it's
Mike
those
Manning and company grinding on this one, aren't they?
Boy, those types of turnovers that there are turnovers that are going to happen. Guys get smacked and the ball gets dislodged. Interceptions get tipped in the air. But those don't need to happen.
After review, it was determined the runner was not down before he fumbled the ball. It was recovered in the end zone by the defense, resulting in a touchback. It'll be Northwestern ball, 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line.
Is that a
Please reset the game clock to 11:55.
contrast of emotions by Fitzgerald and Kelly on that call? That is huge. Fitzgerald knows how big it was, as his team is going to take over at the 20.
And it's still a 1-score game in the 4th quarter instead of a 2-score game now, and you're out. Okay, I mean, shoot, last week in the 4th quarter was Northwestern's best quarter against Michigan, moving the ball up and down the field. And the way they've moved the ball today, you've got to anticipate they'll do the same.
That was a 6-play, 69-yard drive, which ended in a turnover, the 3rd of the game for Notre Dame. At 12:30 Eastern Time on NBC. Premier League coverage begins next Saturday morning at 9 when league leaders Chelsea look to stay unbeaten as they host West Brom on NBCSN. Chris Brown, who contributes the 3rd turnover of the game on the Irish. 2 fumbles, both dug deep in Northwestern territory. The latest inside the 1. The earlier one by Golson came at the 7-yard line, and the touchback puts Northwestern in business here at the 20. Less than 12 minutes to go. Justin Jackson has a first down for Northwestern to begin it. Gain of 14 for the freshman running back, who now has 127 yards on the ground.
Watch Jalen Smith right here. Running the ball out to the left side. He comes up the field untouched, but put the foot in the ground and cut north and south. Jackson, great vision as a runner, and a great start to this drive for Northwestern.
Simeon to the air, and that one is picked off. Stepping in front is Cole Luke. And Luke finally brought down at about the 25 by Tony Jones. Flags come in. And if that one stands, it'll be Luke's 4th of the season to match Farley, who picked up his 4th earlier in the game.
Tell you, Mike McHugh was running the route.
On the return, personal foul, face mask. Number 6 of the passing team. Half the distance to the goal. First down, Notre Dame.
And that goes on Tony Jones, and that puts even more sting into the wound of the turnover.
Simeon stepped into this throw, putting it outside, and at the top of the route, McHugh tried to push off Cole Luke, lost his balance and stepped to the inside. The anticipated throw, he turned it loose, put it to the outside. Now all of a sudden the receiver didn't make the break. Cole Luke sees the ball in the air, breaks on it, makes another big play. You know, we talked about all the Irish turnovers. That's the 4th turnover for Northwestern, and one of those was down in the red zone on the goal line as well.
Yeah, 7 total by these 2 teams. Notre Dame setting up here at the 13-yard line. They'll try to get in the end zone again. This is Folston. Good hit there at about the 12-yard line. Godwin Igwebuike, redshirt freshman, put the hit on Folston.
You know, he's stepping in on the field for Henry, who just got injured, and Campbell is the other safety. When Campbell was hurt earlier in the year, Igwebuike was a starter for 4 games, had 3 interceptions against Wisconsin.
Empty backfield as Cameron McDaniel sets up to the right in the slot. Golson looking over the middle to the end zone and not able to hang on as Koyak. Had he been able to make that catch, it would have been the touchdown for sure, as just was a little high even for 6'5" Ben.
This is a shake route, little stick move and back to the middle. Ball's a little bit high, but in a position where he could make the play. Put a nice move on Walker. The linebacker was open. There was a window for it. Ball sailed just a little bit on Everett Golson.
Do we check that off as another drop, or are we going to give Koyak?
No, I'm calling it a drop. I'm a quarterback. That's a drive.
Okay, in your eyes it is, huh?
Catch it.
You got to make that. 3rd and 8. Be big if Northwestern can just get out of here with a field goal, but that's not going to happen because Fuller's got another one. 3rd of the game.
Will Fuller, number 7, working from the outside, running the seam post route inside. Great timing on the throw. Again, the ball's a little high. No fear. Goes up, grabs it in traffic, and hangs on for the touchdown. Will Fuller is scoring touchdowns left and right now. And Hines Ward said in pregame he's renamed him as, what is it, Big Play Will Fuller?
Yeah, Hines was trying to make that stick. It was a good time to come up with it because it might just stick with 3 touchdowns. 13 for the season now for Fuller, 7 catches, 153 yards, and that is a career high for Will Fuller. So the Notre Dame looked like it was going to self-destruct with its 3rd turnover. They get the ball back after an interception by Cole Luke, and Notre Dame takes it down, and now they've got a bit of a cushion here on Northwestern finally, but it's taken a while.
Finishing off drives, getting them in the end zone. They still had the drop, what I consider a drop, tough catch, but if that gets away from you and you wind up kicking a field goal, it's only an 8-point game. They come back again. Everett Golson makes a nice throw. Will Fuller for the touchdown. It's a 2-score game now instead of just a 1-score game. It was very big to stick that in the end zone.
Still a lot of time left, and what we've seen from Northwestern's offense this game with 10.5 left. Notre Dame is going to go for 2 here.
And the 11-point difference.
Yep. Make it a 42-29 game.
That's a little too much math for me. Figuring is 13 better than 12 at this point.
There's the fake to Brown. And now Golson running out, looking for somebody. And the 2-point conversion's no good. So it indeed is an 11-point difference with 10.5 left. Nick Van Hoos was the man, knocked it down. So they trade a couple of turnovers here. Notre Dame coughs it up, and then Simeon throws the pick to Cole Luke, and Will Fuller finishes it off. 2-point conversion, though, no good. Notre Dame up 40-29 after the 2-point conversion failed. Somewhat of a curious decision there by Brian Kelly to go for 2 points. Extra point would have given it a 41-29 difference of 12 points. As Brinza's kick is taken at the 6-yard line by Trayvon Green, and Green gets it just across the 25 as a flag comes in. What do you think of the decision by Kelly, Doug?
Well, I'll let Mike Mayock explain it in a little bit, but I believe it was a bad decision
Personal
to go
foul,
for 2.
Kicking team number 17. 15-yard penalty added on to the end of the run. First down, Northwestern.
Yeah, guys, I don't get the decision to go for 2. At the 11-point differential, that equals a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal. If you make it 12, it negates that, and you got to score 2 touchdowns to beat you. So I don't get the chart there. I really don't.
Bingo, Mike. Right on. No doubt about it. I was struggling with the math myself for a little bit there. Took the commercial break to figure it out. You had it right away.
So after that big penalty on Waller that was assessed, Northwestern starts this drive in good shape at their own 42.
They're not going away. They're moving the ball in chunks. They're going to fight this to the wire.
Jalen Smith showing pressure. He comes around, but it's too late. Justin Jackson is free for another first down to the Notre Dame 45, just like that, for a gain of 13. Farley brought him down, but Jackson's having himself a big game.
Again, they stretch it out. Great crease. Niles Morgan a step late getting there. He's young. He's reacting just a hair late and not getting to the play.
And here's the up-tempo by Simeon, who stalls it a bit coming up. And And then the give to Jackson, left side this time, makes another nice cut and gets another first down. Niles Morgan with a tackle. Another gain of 13 for Jackson.
This time it's Matt Frazier pulling around for the offensive line of Northwestern, going around the other side. They're just taking turn pulling their guards, running around the corner and gashing the Notre Dame defense.
And Notre Dame has this one stopped in its tracks.
Well, that's big for Notre Dame to give a stop on first down and create at least an uncomfortable situation for Northwestern offensively.
Lost a yard, 2nd and 11. The UPS store. First down line there. Up at the 22. Simeon comes to the near side, and that pass is incomplete. It was a good effort made there by Cam Dickerson. He thought he had it. Kind of made a one-arm grab there. Couldn't tell from this angle if he was able to bring it up to his chest or belly area.
The hand is under it, pulls it up.
Oh,
absolutely.
wow, that is
what
a beauty.
A catch by Dickerson. I was getting ready to say,
Yeah.
there they go.
Yep.
I was getting ready to say that's the first poor throw by Simeon on an easy route.
The ruling on the previous play was that the pass was incomplete. That play is under further review.
And you can see how confident Cam is that it was a catch. He knew he had it.
And the key to this, or what is so important, it seems like a short gain. It's not that big a deal, 5-6 yards. If they sit there in 3rd and 11, they're going to have to drop back, hang on to the football, and make a play up the field. Instead, with this catch, great catch by Dickerson on the sideline, it'll be a manageable situation. Look at this. He gets the right hand under the ball and pulls it up. Doesn't have control yet, but stays under the ball and lifted it. Now he cradles to the chest. Complete control, inbounds. So now is Koyak's a drop? Right?
I see your point.
If this is the standard for a catch, but that is a heck of a catch.
That's your above and beyond catch there by Cam Dickerson.
And they're in an area of the field, although it is a 2-point conversion touchdown in the field goal difference, where you potentially could be in 4-down territory here on a 3rd and medium.
Northwestern down by 11.
Let's wait for replay, though, to decide it is a catch. I'm getting ahead of myself.
If it is a catch, which we think it is, it would be a 6-yard gain for Dickerson.
You know, it's only a 6-yard gain, but it's a significant change in down and distance.
Well, third and 11 versus 3rd and 5.
Oh,
take it
big
every time.
Yeah, now they can do their spread, quick package, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands, mix in a run if you want, because you can always go for it on 4th down. On the 3rd and 11, you're putting your offensive line in a tough situation where they have to protect.
We mentioned already Pat Fitzgerald leading his Northwestern team 19 years ago to victory here. He's got other ties to Notre Dame. They did recruit
After
him,
review,
although
it was
mildly.
determined the catch was made inbounds at the 26-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
So 3rd down and 5. He was recruited by Notre Dame, but in his words, they kind of backed off him. He went to Northwestern. Obviously, everything worked out just fine. While his family was vacationing down south in Marco Island, he struck up a relationship with former Northwestern head coach Ara Parsegian, who coached at Northwestern for some 8 years and ended up winning some national championships here for Notre Dame. And so he's maintained that relationship with Ara through the years, and we know Ara is watching from his home here in South Bend, kind of with mixed emotions because he has such great ties to both of these institutions. 3rd and 4 now. Simeon's pass batted down by Justin Yatupo. And again, Yatupo getting more time in there with Day out, Daniel Cage out.
Again, it's quick game, spread the formation. Defensive line is aware that the ball is going to come out in a hurry, and that is the best way to stop the quick passing game, because you can't get there. Get your hands up.
And that brings up 4th down and 4. And this is Jack Mitchell. 43-yard attempt. And again, he hadn't made one over 30. He's already got a couple today, and that one is never going to get there. Drew Tranquil picks it up for Notre Dame, so that ball was blocked. And the whole thing kind of blows up on Fitzgerald and the Wildcats there.
It's a big 3 points not on the board. The snap, the hold, they're all solid as a rock, and it wasn't a bad kick. Got in, got a hand on it. Now, once this ball passes the line of scrimmage after the block, it is just like a punt. Leave it alone. The ball will come back to where it was kicked. Instead, a freshman, Drew Tranquil, picks it up.
Yeah,
probably
he thought
not
he was thinking hero time there.
And you lose yardage and field position.
By the way, that was Mike McGlinchey who blocked it for Notre Dame. So someone else besides Jerron Jones can block.
I was just assuming it was Jones.
Kicks up there.
I was assuming it was Jones.
5 block kicks this season for the Irish. This one comes at a good time, and with 8:43 left, Notre Dame takes over here at its own 21. Out in the flat is Brown across the 25. And with more on McGlinchey, we send it back down to Mike.
Yeah, McGlinchey's 6'8", 300. A cousin of Matt Ryan, the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons. They went to the same high school, William Penn Charter High School in Philadelphia. And when you talk to Harry Heastan, the offensive line coach, they really think this kid's got the ability to be a big-time offensive tackle. Here he is giving some value on special teams with a huge block.
And you know you can always count on Mike Mayock for
Philly
area stuff. You know, much less, you know, Philly cheese sandwiches. He's got the best spots as well.
The other member of that family, Matt Ryan's uncle, John Lockery, a teammate of Mike Mayock's and mine back at Boston College, was actually the starting quarterback when I got to Boston College. So there's a whole connection there with the Philadelphia area.
Small world out there. Max Chapman's being helped off for Northwestern. Starting defensive lineman for the Wildcats on 2nd down and 4 now. Folston behind Golson. And Folston just kind of pulling his way up the sidelines. Anthony Walker on the tackle for the Wildcats. 92 yards for Folston this week. Again, didn't have a carry in the second half last week against Arizona State, but when we talked with Kelly this week, he knew it was going to be a much different kind of game against Northwestern. He knew Folston was going to get his chances this week, and he certainly has. 17 carries for Folston. Cam McDaniel and Greg Bryant, the other running backs for Notre Dame, have 4 combined today. Big potential stop here for Northwestern on 3rd and 2. First down to Chris Brown. That was Arithmetic on the coverage for Northwestern. Gain of 11 for Brown, and Golson seems to just still be walking a little gingerly.
Appears to be an easy throw out there, but Arithmetic is buzzing out underneath. So Everett Golson had to turn that loose to beat the coverage and get it to Chris Brown in a hurry.
So a key first down pickup for Notre Dame, approaching the 7-minute mark of the final quarter. Fake to Folston, and Golson just throws it away. 2nd and 10. Well, there's a lot to play for here, Doug, as a flag comes in. I know that Notre Dame's national championship aspirations have gone by the wayside, but there are still some huge bowl games to play for on New Year's Day that are in the sights.
Personal foul, defense number 89, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Big penalty on Connor Mahoney.
And it was a blatant late hit. It was 2 steps out of bounds by the time he hit him. And as you're talking about bowl potential, big-time bowls still in the picture. If Notre Dame could win out, here's the late hit. I mean, the ball is well gone, out of bounds, and late.
And even though Kelly told the media, he said there's not one day that's gone by this year that we've talked about, okay, here's what we got to do to get into the playoff. We just approach every game. We want to win it. And he reiterated that when he was asked by the media this week about the national championship aspirations going by the wayside. He says it's still the same game plan. If we just keep winning, the best things will happen at the end of the season. And of course, that would mean one of those big bowl games outside of the Rose and the Sugar that will set up the national championship game. Folston brought down immediately there by Ibrahim Campbell.
The peach, the citrus, the orange, the cotton, they're all still selected bowls by the committee, and you want to get into that mix.
Let's not forget Northwestern has some bowl aspirations as well. They need to win out, though, to get bowl eligible to have a shot. So Fitzgerald and his Wildcats knew that coming in here to Notre Dame Stadium as they try to snap this 4-game losing streak. 2nd and 11. Folston with another nifty move, but he's not able to get out of the grasp of Igwebuike.
And as Mike Mayock said, this is his kind of a day where he should carry the ball a lot. He is getting more carries now in the second half.
First timeout used there by Northwestern. Both teams with a couple of timeouts left. It'll be 3rd and 9 when we come back. Key play of the game here for Northwestern if they have designs on pulling this one out. Down by 11. Notre Dame faced with a 3rd and 9 at the Wildcat 44. Golson fires incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down. And so now Northwestern a couple of scores away. 11 points down, touchdown, 2-point conversion, field goal. That's what they're thinking with 6:18 left.
Plenty of time to do it. They've got to be efficient in how they move the football. But like you said, an 8 and a 3 do it for them. Now that Notre Dame did go for the 2-point conversion and didn't get it.
Not a good punt by Brinza at all. That kind of went off the side of his foot.
Tell you what, Procyse did a nice job getting on that ball because the returner was on a dead run, going to try to scoop that and go off the fly when everybody else was standing around watching the ball roll.
And is Kelly going to have another conversation here with Brinza after a 17-yard punt? Looked like he wanted to as we take a look at the quarterback comparison. Brought to you by the Lincoln Motor Company. A couple of interceptions by Simeon. One by Golson. Golson also tagged with a fumble lost. Simeon going right to work, and that one batted down nicely by Niles Morgan. Intended for Vitali, the superback.
He was right on him too. Niles did a great job of closing, reaching with the right arm to knock that down without making contact and not drawing a flag.
All right, Northwestern going to have to make something happen on this drive with just 6 minutes left. Either a field goal or a touchdown. That pass complete to Vitali. Stops the clock with 5:58 left. Gain of 8 for Vitali.
Right on the boundary. Vitali, he is, like I said early in the game, he's not a fullback. He is a receiver. He runs well. He catches the ball extremely well.
That's just his second catch. As Simeon keeps it around the right side, around the 40-yard line, he does pick up the first down.
Nice little zone read. Sees Rochelle close down, keeps the ball. Easy first down conversion.
The Wildcats have it quickly up to their own 39. Simeon with time. Flag comes in. Pass is complete to Trayvon Green. He gets sandwiched by a couple of Irish defenders.
We'll wait this out with the flag, but again, a nice little completion underneath. They need to be a little more efficient and start hustling.
Personal foul. Defense number 53. Hands in the face. 15-yard penalty tacked on to the end of the run. First down.
And that is big on Yatupo.
That moves it up the field in a hurry.
Yep.
And when the clock is an issue, you need 2 scores, 5.5 minutes to go. The extra 15 really helps. The hands to the face. You know, I've never played in the mix in the line there. This happens way more often than I would expect it to happen.
With that penalty, it brings it all the way out to the Notre Dame 42. Over the middle, complete. And that should be another first down to Warren Long.
Simeon makes quick decisions, gets a good read on coverage, and the ball is out. He goes to the guy that has the best opportunity to get open and turns it loose all the time. Boom, he reads coverage, everybody dropping deep. Where's my back? Right there, get it to him.
Please reset the game clock to 5:20.
Game clock was down to 5:04. They reset it up to 5:20. By the way, Simeon has completed passes to 7 different receivers. And he's got another first down here just at the 31 of Notre Dame. Knifing in there was Farley. Simeon's going to run this one, and he's going to pick up another first down. Close to the 15 before Drew Tranquil finally brings him down after a gain of 15. So this is going just about as well as Northwestern could expect.
Moving in a hurry, always a good shot at scrimmage. Farley comes in untouched. Inside, they lose contain on the outside. Aquara lost the contain there, and he turns it loose. He's athletic enough to make plays with his legs as well.
Simeon down to the goal line, and unable to hang on there is Mike McHugh. He was a little off balance when the ball sailed in there, but was this catchable?
Looked like his feet slipped out from under a little at the last second as he's reaching for the ball. Yeah, he gets his hands on. Hey, what the heck? I'm a quarterback. Catch it.
No,
yeah.
I'm not going to call that a drop.
I'm not calling that one a drop either.
Good throw there by Simeon, though. Again, showing the arm strength. 2nd down and 10. Pressure again from Farley. Dumps it out underneath. And inside the 10-yard line is Tim Hanrahan. That's his first catch of the game. The 8th different receiver for Simeon to find.
Boy, this was an all-out blitz. They throw the screen on the backside. It almost scores. They've called the screen play twice in great situations and come out with very positive plays on it.
Ball is spotted at the 6.
I mean, they're just going a little quick up tempo here and have walked the ball down the field in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, they're seeing if he got the first down. Yeah, the stick showed 3rd down, but it's going to be 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. So now with everything straight, they wind the clock. Simeon looks right. Nothing there. Walks into the end zone for the score. And now you got to go for 2.
Now it's time to go for 2. And now Brian Kelly is looking at the clock and saying, maybe we should have kicked that extra point.
9-play, 73-yard drive in just under 2 minutes. Simeon just easily walks in with nobody around him.
So relaxed looking in the pocket. It wasn't a design quarterback draw. It was a pass play. He looked up the field, didn't like it. The C's parted. He just steps through. Official picks off a Notre Dame defender as well.
And the official is still down on the field after that hit. But boy, could this be sweet vindication for Trevor Simeon. Who, remember the last time that Northwestern tried a 2-point conversion, it was Simeon who slipped against Michigan a week ago as Fitzgerald decided to go for the win against the Wolverines. Instead, 2-point conversion failed and Northwestern lost to the Wolverines 10-9.
They were going for the win. He was rolling right. They were trying the old fall down by the tight end and sneak out the back door and go backside. So as Simeon rolled right, he tried to set and give ground to throw back to his left, slipped and fell to the ground, and they lose the game by a point.
Good to see the umpire Ken Zolmansky coming off the field, but definitely shaken up. This drive set up by the 17-yard punt, remember, by Brinza. And so now a 2-point conversion for Northwestern.
Now the ball is set off to the right, which would make you think it's going to be a roll left, but they left enough room to maybe, there's always some kind of trick play off 2-point plays.
Just to get within 3. Here we come, back around, and now the toss back toward the end zone, incomplete, and there's a flag on the play.
Wow.
And there was the trickery, you called it.
Pass interference, defense number 23.
Wow.
Half the distance, replay the try.
Drew Tranquil.
You know, here's my deal is Northwestern's been very good at getting the ball in the end zone. Why do you have to go to a trick play here? Great job of staying home, putting pressure on. The ball doesn't have an opportunity. There's no way they're going to complete this pass. And there's no doubt that Drew Tranquil ran in, you know, he was a step behind his receiver and just was hustling to get there, couldn't get his head around.
That was Andrew Scanlon, number 82, who tried to toss it for the 2-point conversion into the end zone, and now they'll move it a little closer and give Simeon another shot here to get the Wildcats within a field goal with 4:10 left.
See if they don't just run a standard right at you type play.
What about that Simeon sneak, even though he's in the shotgun here? And they plow it up the middle to Warren Long, who gets it done. 40-37 Notre Dame.
Great leg drive, continuing the push to get into the end zone, get this big 2-point conversion. Watch him keep the legs rolling after contact. Keep digging with the legs. It looked like he may get stopped. He finished 2 yards into the end zone.
So touchdown for Northwestern. 2-point conversion is good. 4:10 left. They trail by just a field goal. $37 points tonight by the Wildcats so far, the most ever scored by a Northwestern team against Notre Dame in a series that began back in 1889. As Notre Dame again gives up huge points to yet another team for the 5th week in a row here, Doug.
2 kickers on the field. Notre Dame ready for an onside kick. There's still over 4 minutes.
Jack Mitchell and Hunter Nicewander. This is a low driving kick by Nicewander, who is now the backup punter. Amir Carlisle takes it across the 31, 35. Before he's finally brought down at about the 38. Let's go back down to Mike.
Hey, Dan, Will Fuller's had a big day. He went to the same high school as Marvin Harrison. Tell me if you don't see some similar traits here. Bubble screen, catch the football, up the field, smooth, accelerate, touchdown. Off coverage, watch him get the defensive back turned, stick his foot in the ground, accelerate away, another touchdown. Here he is, again, really smooth, stick the foot in the ground. He's an outstanding route runner.
Folston with a carry on the first play of this series for Notre Dame, Doug, and this is eat up the clock time, maybe Folston time.
Absolutely. It's a 4-minute offense, they'll call it, where you're running the football, you run your play action and bootleg, safe passes when you decide to go to them. Stay in bounds, keep the clock running, try to convert.
Northwestern with a couple of timeouts, as do the Irish. 2nd down and 1. Let that play clock roll down. Eat up some more clock. Golson goes to the left, and Corey Robinson has the catch.
Little safe throws right in front of your face, no indecision on it. If it's there, you take it, convert first down. You did get out of bounds there, which stops the clock, but it restarts once the chains were set.
2nd catch for Corey Robinson on the day. Under 3 minutes left for Pat Fitzgerald at Northwestern to try to get the ball back. has given up 3 turnovers today. Northwestern 4. Another high-scoring game in which Notre Dame is involved with. Here's Golson, and he's tripped up back in the backfield by Jimmy Hall, the linebacker, for a loss of 3.
This is a huge play on the loss on the play. I think Everett, if you pull this, he's supposed to be running to the left. Instead, he saw a big gap to the right. Initially took off for it and made a mistake. He probably should have just given the ball to start with.
Brings up 2nd down and 13. We've reached the 2-minute mark.
Maybe time to start using your timeouts on defense.
Golson helping that clock, play clock, all the way down. Out to the left side to Fuller. Make sure he stays in bounds and gets it over to the 48. Iguabuke brought him down. And a Wildcat player is down at the 42. That is Greg Kuhar, number 93. We mentioned there have been plenty of miscues tonight for Notre Dame. The 2 red zone fumbles, one at the 7, one inside the 1-yard line. The missed field goal by Brinza, blocked PAT, which resulted in 2 points for Northwestern, an interception as well. A little bit of everything.
Boy, those first 3 were all points off of the board. The interception happened out in the field of play, but the others were definite points, if not a field goal, probably touchdowns, potentially 20 points off the board out of those 4 situations. Right now, minute 48 on the clock, a 3rd and long situation. If Northwestern can come up with the stop, use their last timeout, they'll have a minute 40 or so on the clock with an opportunity to take it the length of the field.
And again, they only need a field goal to try to perhaps force it to overtime. Notre Dame had given up a whopping 78 points off turnovers coming into this game, Doug, and they've added to that dubious mark in this game with 3 more turnovers.
Simeon just wants a chance. He's feeling good today. His legs have gotten into play in the 4th quarter, taking off and running. He just wants to stop here and get the ball back. For Notre Dame, 3rd and 9. Everett Golson loves to use his legs in these situations. If something is not clear cut to him, I would expect Kelly to be a little bit aggressive here in the play call. If he doesn't like it, he's taking off and looking for a big play. He'll extend the play on his own.
He's got Cam McDaniel back there, the best pass protector from the running back perspective, to Golson's left. The guy surveys the field and tries to keep Golson safe back there on 3rd and 9. Golson escapes it, fires to the far side. Flag comes in, as it was intended for Corey Robinson.
There's a collision here. Yeah, Hall's not looking back for the ball, but I think this is one you keep the flag in your pocket on. The ball's landed.
Pass interference, defense number 9. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Gigantic call against Fitzgerald and the Wildcats.
In the slot, Corey Robinson running down the field, looking. Kind of just turned to see the ball. The ball lands 10 yards short of him, and he basically trips on his own. There is some contact. Hall does not get his head turned around at all. But that's one I think you keep that flag in your pocket there, and Northwestern would be getting the ball with a minute 42 left.
Well, suffice to say, it easily could have gone either way. Instead, Notre Dame on 3rd and 9 gets a 1st and 10. And now they can just chew the clock and run the timeout. Northwestern,
with 1 timeout left,
is going to burn that final timeout right now with a minute 36. Let's go back to that pass interference call, Doug.
Yeah, I mean, this is your last desperation chance to get the ball back. The ball's landing. You're off the field. And I honestly think Corey tripped. I think there's some contact because the hands are on Corey Robinson. But Hall doesn't hit him. He doesn't influence the fact that he could have come back to the ball. credit Corey Robinson for trying to put his foot in the ground and turning to come back to maybe buy the call. But I think Corey just basically tripped and fell to the ground. The ball landed well short. And it really takes that last desperation chance away from Northwestern.
And there was a little grabbing going on by Hall on the arm of Corey Robinson, but at this stage of the game to call that, I would agree with you. Maybe one of those times where you keep it in the pocket, but Notre Dame benefits big time from it. And now the Wildcats are out of timeouts. Second down and 8. They give it to Cam McDaniel. McDaniel drops it on the ground, the steadiest of the running backs, and Northwestern appeared to have, yes, Wildcat ball with 1:28 left. Can you believe that? McDaniel, so steady, relied upon, especially at moments like this in the game.
The last person you would expect the ball to come out from. Campbell rips at it with his right arm and pulls it out. Is there a possibility of him being down? It's really close. My initial thought was that the ball was out. It's gone. It's out. It's on its way out before the knee comes to the ground. Northwestern gets their opportunity.
Ruling
down
on the field
3.
as the runner fumbled the ball, recovered by the defense. That play is under further review.
I think this stands. Campbell does a great job of just ripping at the ball, pulling it out.
Yeah, they had McDaniel double teamed there.
It's Lowry being a part of the tackle. Hall seeing his opportunity and diving on it to get a little reprieve from the interference call. Hall has the opportunity to get the ball back to his team.
Looks like it's on its way out before that knee touches by McDaniel. So,
boy, that's the last guy on the field that you would expect the ball to pop out.
That would be the 4th turnover by Notre Dame, matching Northwestern. 8 turnovers combined.
It's only fair. All right, you had 4, now we have 4. Here you go. There's a minute and a half on the clock. What can you do? Not yet. Let's make sure after the review.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Northwestern.
So the Wildcats get the ball back with 1:28 left. No timeouts. They need a field goal, which would be attempted by Jack Mitchell, who has made a couple from 31 and 46 tonight. Missed one from 43. But Fitzgerald and the Wildcat offense here are going to try to get as much as they can here. This will be interesting to see how Simeon can work his way down the field here, Doug, with no timeouts. Pass complete. Clock will run.
The key here is you'd like to get first down yardage, and that clock stops and you have a chance to line back up. Plays like that where you're short of the first, it's running.
Yep, 2nd and 2 after the gain of 8. That's going to be a first down, and the ball is loose. Dickerson let it get away from him.
I don't know if it's the cold conditions, but the ball is just coming out way too easily. It gets knocked out of bounds, actually saving Northwestern some time. They'll get lined up. The clock should restart because it was fumbled from inbounds.
Fumble out of bounds. The ball will be brought back to the spot of the fumble. The clock will wind on my signal.
Again, they only need a field goal, so there's plenty of time to nickel and dime.
Ball is up at the 43.
But no timeouts. If you're stopped short of a first down, the clock is running.
They need to be thinking get at least to the 30-yard line of Notre Dame to give Mitchell a shot. Simeon at midfield. That ball is complete. And on the run is Prater trying to get out of bounds, which he does. At the 40, gain of 17. So now they're about 10 yards or so away from a potential distance that Mitchell could hit from.
Great job of breaking the tackle and getting to the sideline because he was going to be short of a first down and the clock would have been running. Now it's stopped.
That ball's complete. Again to Prater. And they're getting closer and closer within range. Devin Butler on the coverage.
All right, now once you're on the edge of field goal range is when a defense decides we're going to turn it loose and come after you and create a sack to push it back, or you are vulnerable for a big play.
Again, there was Mitchell, a starting outfielder on the baseball team for Northwestern in his first season playing football. Simeon trying to get him in position. Prater tight-roping there, and that ball is complete.
That was a precision throw.
It was. And the ball is inside the 30. It's now at the 28.
Jalen Smith was out in the flat ready to take that away, and Simeon just turned it loose.
And they are within range. Even though Mitchell hasn't had a lot of tries at long field goals, again came into this game without making one from over 30.
Here looks like man coverage here for the first time in the drive. Here's your opportunity both offensively or defensively to make a big play.
Simeon down the sidelines, incomplete. And he wanted the 6'5" Prater again.
Boy, if he had kept that in bounds, Prater might have made a play on it. He had an opportunity here. Working one-on-one with Butler. Butler does get his hands on him, which is a bonus from last week. He struggled in one-on-one coverage there. He did a very decent job of staying right with him.
Yeah, big height differential there. Butler only 6 feet. Prater 6'5". 2nd and 10. 30 seconds to go. Simeon down the middle, and he was a little high. Looking for McHugh. 3rd and 10. Clock stopped with 29 to go.
Wow. All-out blitz, man-to-man coverage all over the field. Austin Collinsworth in coverage, trips and falls. It's a touchdown if the ball's on the mark.
The ball is spotted at the 28. It would be about a 45, 46-yard attempt if they're not able to get any more yardage from this point right now on 3rd and 10. Simeon backpedals. That one high, incomplete, and it'll bring up 4th and 10, intended for Dickerson.
Well, again, a great opportunity for completion, and the ball sails on Simeon. 45-yarder to tie the game.
So here comes Jack Mitchell. First year on the Northwestern football team, a 45-yard attempt. He made one from 31 and 46 earlier in the game. This one to tie it up with 25 seconds. And he came in there and booted it, but a timeout had been called by Notre Dame to ice the outfielder.
He gets a practice kick. He goes out, gets a practice kick. Did it go through? Could be a confidence builder for him. Feel comfortable now. Get the jitters out, take one good hard swing, practice swing on the range over there. Now he's stepping up.
Again, 2 years ago, Mitchell, we mentioned it earlier, was brought as a preferred walk-on for the football team. As a kicker, he elected to play baseball. He's been one of the best players in the Wildcat baseball team the last 2 years. So this summer he says, you know what? I'm going to get back to football. Comes back. Again, had come into this game hitting on 8 of 10, but again, none more than 29 yards for the season. And now has a chance for a 17-point underdog Northwestern team to tie it up here against Notre Dame.
Jerron Jones in the middle has had some block kicks throughout the year.
4 career blocks for Jones, but Jack Mitchell is thinking one thing: drill this from 45 and give my team a chance. Kick is up. It's got plenty of leg, and Jack Mitchell has tied it. Welcome to the football team, Mr. Mitchell.
And no doubt about it, he stepped into it. That was his best kick of the day. And how about the drive? With no timeouts, worked it down the field, 45-yarder. Nice snap and hold, finished his stroke, drilled it straight down the pipe.
And Pat Fitzgerald, who was on the Northwestern team the last time these teams met 19 years ago as an All-American linebacker, pulled off the big upset, and Jack Mitchell with Northwestern 17-point underdogs. And you go back to that going for two for Brian Kelly. That's the difference right now, although strategy changes a little bit when you're, Northwestern wouldn't have gone for two previously, but the point is that remains a big factor with them now tied up at 40.
It really did. It turned it into a touchdown, 2-point conversion and field goal game as opposed to 2 touchdowns. Now with 19 seconds left, unless Notre Dame were to crease something on the return, they'll kneel down and take this thing to overtime.
And there's Cam McDaniel, who enabled Northwestern to get it shot and take it down the field and get the field goal try, which was good. So we're tied at 40. Ball out to the 35-yard line with 16 seconds remaining.
I'll tell you what, with a timeout, I'm putting the ball up down the field here with 16 seconds.
So Mitchell has made a 45-yarder to tie it, a 46-yarder earlier to go along with a 31-yarder. And the kicker on the other side of the field, Kyle Brunza, with all the kicking credentials, is 0 for 1 with 1 miss from 38. Golson out to Fuller. Try to get him in space, but Northwestern is there. And this clock is ticking down into overtime. Can you believe this, Doug?
I really did not anticipate this. I thought if Northwestern stays in the game, it would be a low-scoring, slug-it-out type of game. Instead, they've gone blow for blow with Notre Dame, scored 40 points on the board, and taken it to OT.
Pat Fitzgerald kind of calming his troops down. They were coming off that sideline kind of celebrating, but Fitzgerald just bringing them back down to earth, saying we got overtime coming up here, boys, with a chance. Brian Kelly circling his team around him.
546 yards of offense for Northwestern today, a team that has struggled offensively. 2 big drives late in the game, down by 2 scores with 6 minutes to go.
Once again, this has been the theme for Notre Dame. You take a look at the overtime rules. Coin toss for the choice of possession or into the field. Each team getting that possession from the opponent's 25. You have to go for 2 starting with the 3rd overtime. No game clock, play clock only, and each team gets 1 timeout per OT period.
Well, with recent history for Pat Fitzgerald, is he going to go for 2 if they score a touchdown on the first attempt? I'm not going to question it, other than the fact that Notre Dame has struggled with their field goal PAT team. And potential to just miss an extra point or bobble a snap.
Wow.
And get outscored in overtime.
All-time overtime records for both schools in a game which has produced more than 1,000 yards of offense tonight. Last time we were here, 93-point score between North Carolina and Notre Dame. That was a Notre Dame Stadium record.
It's fun.
84-year history.
It's just pure fun when they're scoring points. Who wants to see LSU Alabama 9-6?
A little different than Northwestern Michigan last week, right? 10-9 final in that one?
Just a little.
Is this the same Northwestern team?
I've been saying that all day. It's the 4th quarter Northwestern team.
Okay, captains, we're going to overtime. The coin flip will be called by Northwestern. The winner of the coin flip has the choice of offense, defense, or what end of the field they want to play on. Okay?
What's your choice? Tails.
Let it land on the ground. It's a tails. Offense, defense, or you want to play defense. What end of the field do you want to play on? You want to play on that end of the field. Northwestern, swing around here. Notre Dame, you face this way. Stand right there. Be Notre Dame ball, first down.
So the Irish will be at the 25 when we come back to start overtime. Tied at 40 on a chilly night at Notre Dame Stadium. Notre Dame and Northwestern set for overtime at Notre Dame Stadium. 40 all. A lot has happened in this game. 4 turnovers for each team. Brian Kelly and Pat Fitzgerald watching their teams cough it up numerous times. Will Fuller has been a big weapon for Golston today. This touchdown made it 34-26. Fuller's got 3 touchdown catches on the day. That was another one there to make it 40-29. They went for 2. They didn't get it, so the difference was 11. Simeon walks it in. And so Northwestern goes for 2 at this point to get themselves within 3, 40-37. And then, just when it looked like Notre Dame was going to ice it, Cam McDaniel, the steady running back, turns it over for Notre Dame. And Jack Mitchell connects on his 3rd field goal of the game as Simeon got him within good range for a 45-yarder to tie it up. And that's where we stand right now as Fitzgerald and Northwestern try to pull off this upset. Notre Dame with its hands on the football first at the 25-yard line as we begin overtime. And Golston begins it by tossing it out to Fulston for no gain.
Well played defensively. The key here right now for Northwestern is they have the ball last. They can make those decisions to go for it on 4th down. They can make those decisions on a field goal to win. So they're in the driver's seat by going 2nd.
By the way, that fumble by Cam McDaniel was his very first of the season. That's how steady he has been. Fuller's got 3 touchdown catches in motion to the near side, and Golston going his direction, going down to the end zone though, and Corey Robinson stumbled there, a little bump and contact there, but no flag.
I think it's a good no call. The ball sailing out of bounds. Campbell has his eyes up looking for the ball, running across. He does cross feet with Corey. There's contact, no doubt about it. I think it's a good no call though.
And that brings up 3rd and 10. Remember, the normally reliable field goal,
they're bringing it here
in Brinza.
Man-to-man coverage.
Golston gets it out near side, incomplete, and that brings up the 4th down. So they didn't gain anything on this beginning to overtime.
The ball just did not come out of Everett Golston's hand smoothly there. The ball a little underthrown to Will Fuller. Now it's a long field goal attempt with the new holder.
Yep, it'll be about a 42-yard attempt. There is Malik Zaire. Brinza gives him a little tap on the helmet as if to say, we got this one. Missed earlier.
You have to have confidence and trust in that guy and just step through it.
From 38. Zaire didn't get a point after down. He gets this one down, and Brinza's got plenty of leg, but this one drifts off to the left. No good. Brinza, the all-time leader in field goals in Notre Dame history, is 0 for 2 tonight from 38 and now from 42 in overtime.
The ball is set down. Laces are off to the left side. No rotation of the ball by the holder, Malik Zaire. And the ball hooks to the laces side and hooks left. Not that that's the reason it hooked, but it was a holder that just says, hey, all I'm going to do is put this thing down and make sure I get it down so you can kick it.
Is Jack Mitchell going to be the hero again?
He's been hero number 1 so far to send this thing to overtime. And all they need is the field goal so they can play conservatively here and just try to gain some yards to shorten that field goal attempt. This is why it's such an advantage to go 2nd or last.
Keep it on the ground. No gain here for Justin Jackson. Niles Morgan was right there.
And there was no hesitation by Morgan on that one. He just read the play and went right to it. Very aggressive defensively. Notre Dame knows that Northwestern would like to be able to just run the football in this situation.
Mike, what do you got?
You know, that's about the 4th time I've seen Niles Morgan trust his eyes, flash, and make a play.
And this one loses 2 or 3 yards. Jackson and Simeon were never in sync there.
You know, you're playing not to lose. Both these teams offensively have been aggressive all night. And now all of a sudden you're getting conservative because you have a chance to win. Now you're sitting here in 3rd and 13 situation, something you haven't been in all night. Maybe come back to that screen pass.
Total yards here are -3 by the two teams so far on overtime. Simeon, quick look to the right, but he gives it to Warren Long. Gets just inside the 25, back to the 24. Jalen Smith brings him down, but on 4th and 9, Jack Mitchell comes back out to the field.
Boy,
so this will be a 41-yarder to win it.
Playing so conservatively, draws and screens in 3rd and long, just to give yourself this opportunity.
Made the 45-yarder to send it to overtime. This to pull off the upset again at Notre Dame Stadium. 41-yarder on the way for Mitchell. Absolutely good. And Northwestern has beaten Notre Dame. 19 years removed from another upset. He hadn't made a field goal more than 29 yards all season long. He comes into Notre Dame Stadium, goes 4 for 5, including 3 40-plus field goals made, and Jack Mitchell and Northwestern have pulled off the upset on Notre Dame again.
And 2 of those field goals with the game on the line. One at the end of the game to tie it, the other in overtime. Just give me the opportunity, I'll put it through. Hit it with confidence both times. See if everything was nice and clean for him. Perfect hold, perfect kick. And there's no doubt about that.
So while Brinza and Notre Dame had their kicking problems, it was Jack Mitchell in his first year in football after a couple of years for the Wildcat baseball team, who ends up being the difference for Northwestern. The middle of the 4th quarter, Notre Dame led 40-29 as Northwestern scores the last 14 points of the game. Let's go down to Catherine.
Coach, 1995, you complete the upset of the century as a player. You come back here, 2014, another huge upset. Which one is sweeter?
Well, I think Coach Barnett said in 95 it was no upset, and our guys played their hearts out today. I'm really proud, especially our seniors. Made a lot of big plays down the stretch, and credit Notre Dame. It was a heck of a battle, but really proud of our guys.
Trevor Simeon was outstanding in this game. How would you grade your quarterback's performance?
I want to know. That's all that mattered. We had to come here. Our backs are against the wall. We talked early in the week about this being a playoff-type game, going back to being in high school in November, and the young men are the ones that got it done. I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for our staff, and Jack Ryan and Brennan are back at home with Stays, so Daddy's coming home with a win.
Jack Mitchell had the game on his shoulders twice. What can you say about him performing under pressure with those field goals?
Well, Jack's a young man from California that's pretty chill, and he's a terrific young man. He also plays baseball. Really proud of him. I'm really proud of him. It's a whole man operation. This is a team win, and really proud of everybody. I can't thank our fans enough for the support, and our backs are against the wall still, so we got to keep battling and have a great week this week.
But what does a win like this do for the program?
Well, it keeps us one step closer to getting the postseason for our seniors. I mean, we've been to 5 bowl games over the last 6 years. This program is in unbelievable shape. It's never been in this good a shape. We've lost some heartbreaking losses, but these guys have persevered, responded, and stayed together, and that's what Wildcats do.
Finally, Coach, you brought the team together right before overtime. You huddled them together. What did you tell them in that moment?
Well, it's the same thing we do every day. We put a fist together talking about playing together as one heartbeat, and we pound our chest. And we call it the 4th quarter, and that's like we do every day at the end of practice. So I'm really proud of them.
Coach, congratulations. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Catherine. Thanks. Go Cats.
Dan, back up to you.
There's that Go Cats line that Fitzgerald squeezes in there after every interview he does. He is as positive as you can possibly be. And we talked to him earlier this week, Doug. He said, you know what, the program's just kind of been snake bit lately. I haven't lost hope. I haven't lost faith. They lost that 7 in a row down the stretch of the season last year. He says, we've had some injuries. Yeah, we're keeping battling here, but things just haven't gone our way when they've needed to. But This has to be especially satisfying for a guy that was a one-time Notre Dame recruit all those years ago before going to Northwestern and playing there, coaching here now. Let's go back down to Catherine.
All right, Dan, thank you. I'm here with Trevor Simeon. Trevor, congratulations on a big win. What does this victory mean for you and your teammates?
It means a lot, you know, well, especially for the seniors, you know. Hasn't been the year we wanted, but we knew we had a chance coming out here. Well, nobody else really gave us a chance. It was pretty cool. Don't know what else to say. It's awesome.
Trevor, you faced a lot of adversity in this game, a couple of drop balls, but you still managed the offense very effectively. How did you do that?
Yeah, I got great. You know, the offensive line played their tails off. Those guys don't get enough credit. And the receivers stepped up when we needed them the most. I told them early in the first half, I said this is going to come down to a couple plays, and sure enough, you know, what do you know?
How long do you enjoy this one in Evanston?
2 days.
All right, Trevor, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Dan, back up to you.
Thank you, Catherine. Northwestern pulls off the win over a team just a short time ago that was in the national championship conversation. A lot has happened since then as Notre Dame falls to 7-3. Northwestern goes to 4-6. Snaps a 4-game losing streak. As you look at Tom Ruby, who joined the team last week. First action in a collegiate game, active Navy SEAL, and he is a part of big-time celebration in that corner of the end zone for Northwestern and the band.
Boy, the game from the beginning went the way Northwestern wanted it. The way they were moving the ball, getting the ball out, moving the chains. Kyle Prater had a huge day, catching 10 balls. Simeon on target all day long. And it looked like Notre Dame was just going to run the clock out, eat it up, and sneak away. And the last guy you would expect to cough up the ball, Cam McDaniel, 2 hands on it at first. Ibrahim Campbell rips at it. The ball's loose. Hall jumps on it, and Hall had a costly interference call that appeared as though it would have lost the game. Instead, the opportunity comes back, and Cam gave Northwestern the opportunity.
Disappointment written all over the team captain's face as Cam McDaniel with a costly fumble. There were 3 other turnovers besides that, 4 total for Notre Dame, and it's what we've been hearing Kelly preaching all year long, Doug. We just can't continue to expect to win football games turning it over this much. So they added to that turnover total tonight. Again, 4. Northwestern turned the ball over a lot, but in the end, they got the job done. And the baseball player, the outfielder in his other sport for Northwestern, gets it done, comes up with some clutch kicks with the game on the line twice.
Just when they were given the opportunity, Northwestern took advantage of it. It's a team that played their best football all day long. A young Notre Dame defense allowing a lot of points a game, again, and turnovers on offense.
Well, for Brian Kelly's full press conference, you can go to NBCSports.com. And then next Saturday, the Louisville Cardinals are here. They come to South Bend to take on the Fighting Irish. First ever meeting between those two teams. It's the game presented by Mophie. Coverage begins at 3. Tonight, starting at 8 Eastern Time, it's Dateline Saturday Night Mystery, and later tonight at 11:30, 10:30.